Welcome back. In our last lesson, we walked through GitHub, why GitHub was important, and I walked you through the setup and why we need GitHub. Remember, we spoke about how GitHub is like our time machine. It helps us when we make any mistake. If our code breaks, we could travel back in time. We also talked about how GitHub is like our cloud save. We can always access our code from anywhere. And lastly, we talked about how GitHub can also be like a portfolio. Think about it. Think of GitHub as your journal. You can keep track of everything you've done, and you can also show other people what you've done. Now, in this lesson, I'll be walking you through how we could set up Vercel. Let's go to Vercel. Vercel.com. We'll go to Vercel.com, and you can see this beautiful site up. We could use it free for this course. Now, why do we need Vercel? Think of Vercel as your dining table. So, if GitHub is the kitchen where we cook everything, now think of Vercel as your dining, where you can serve that beautiful meal you've cooked, where people can get to see the beautiful meal you cook, and they can interact with the meal in real time. They can eat. So if eat is interaction, so think of eating as interaction. They can interact with the meal in real time. So remember, we use Claude as our thinking partner. We use anti-gravity as where we actually cook up our code. Now we push that code to GitHub, where we save it, use as time machine, we save it there. Now, it is there. The web app is there, the website is there, but your users cannot actually interact with it. So now we cannot use Vercel to tie with GitHub, so we can serve this to your real users. So real users can see that beautiful web app you've built, that beautiful website you built, and interact with them. So Vercel helps us do that. So don't worry about you being technical. Vercel handles all the technicality around it. All you need to do is just create an account on Vercel, connect it with your GitHub, and we can serve this to your users. So let's do that. So on Vercel, click on sign up. You have these options here where you can sign up with Google, GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket, or Apple. We're going to use GitHub since we already created a GitHub account already. So create on GitHub. It asks us to give it, so basically asks for authorization, verify. If you want, like when it's asking for authorization, what is practically doing is, or asking is, I want to have access to your repository, because that is what it pulls from and hosts. So you can just quickly authorize it. Give it a few minutes. Please enter your phone number to verify your login. So we go to Nigeria. Remember, Nigeria. Good. Now I input my number. Obviously, I'm going to blur this for security reasons. Now send me a code. I could just verify that code. Let me get that code right away. 2511. I can let you see the code. You're not using the code for anything. So choose a plan. I'm a hobby. Just doing personal projects. My name, KCAV Academy, and we can continue. Give this a few minutes or a few seconds. Nope. And now we're here. So we've already set up our Vercel account. We've connected it. So we have a Vercel account, and we've also connected it to GitHub. Now the next thing is, before we are able to host anything or show our users anything, we need to now connect it to the repositories we have on GitHub. Now let's do that together. Now here we can click on, so let's build something together, new project. We're doing a new project, so you can just click on continue with GitHub. Now install. Now it's asking, so when you click on install, it's asking which of your repository do you want it to have access to. You can decide to say all your repository, or you can say only selected repositories. For this project, we're going to click on only selected repositories, and it gives us a drop down. We can select. Remember the diet app we created in the last lesson is here. So you can click on diet app and you can click on install. You can see that here already. So you can see under import Git repository, you can see the diet app here. And you can click on import. Now under import, it asks for other basic things. You can just leave this as it is and click on deploy. Now expect this deployment to fail, and that's because there's nothing in it. We've not good. You can see, provided that doesn't contain any request branch or commit references, please ensure the repository is not empty. Like I said, you can expect this to fail, and that's because we've not built anything actually, and we've not made any commits, and we've not made any push. Our repository is empty. Our repo is empty. So moving forward, I'll be saying repo. So our repo is empty. So in the coming modules and coming lessons where we start actively using Claude and actively using anti-gravity and making those commits and push to Git, we can now come back and do another deployment in Vercel, and you are sure it won't break because we now have actual code base for it to show. Thank you.